Why stop at 3 weekly televised shows when you could have 4? Because Tony Khan, he wants more. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. And could we be seeing a 4th AEW show televised every single week in the name of AEW Ring of Honor? So here we go. Tony Khan is considering, I guess, rebooting Ring of Honor as AEW Ring of Honor. Now, what difference would this make other than AEW being in front of Ring of Honor? I do not know. Kind of similar to WWE ECW. You know, at the end of the day, Ring of Honor is being ran by AEW. It's been ran by Tony Khan. You can claim it's its own company, but it is still technically AEW. This would simply be not a lot more than a name change, but it seems to be a change that Tony Khan would welcome and something that he thinks would help Ring of Honor. And I think Ring of Honor needs all the help it can get. I just don't think putting the 3 letters AEW in front of it is going to drastically change things for this brand.
For this brand, no, it's not going to change. I mean, it is AEW already. It just reminds me of 2001 where they went, you know what, fuck it, we're going to put Nitro on for 15 minutes. It was WWE with the Nitro fucking wrestlers, with the Nitro announcers and the Nitro ref.
It was probably the worst 15 minutes
of Raw in like 10 years. Well, I wasn't run 10. No, it killed the ratings.
It did. People thought they were on the wrong chat. What's this shit, buddy? Anyway, while speaking to media after the 2024 Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view event, AEW President Tony Khan commented on Ring of Honor potentially using the AEW brand name going forward. This is what Tony Khan had to say. He says, quote, "I don't think it's out of the question to say, and I don't think it's sacrilegious to say, that it would only help grow the Ring of Honor brand if I were to license it, sub-license it, if it were AEW Ring of Honor. I don't think that's a crazy thing, and I don't think it would be sacrilegious or bad. I think it would be actually be good for everybody. Then I think people would see more of the connectivity that exists between the promotions and what we're going for. Would Ring of Honor, frankly, have a lot more value as AEW Ring of Honor? Yeah, it probably would. And I think I've come to that realization as far as the presentation, and that might mean, frankly, a more cohesive absorption of the promotion." End of quote.
That's how you'd pronounce it. That's how I'd pronounce it. Everybody who passed English, is that how you'd pronounce it? God damn it. Well, hopefully Tony Khan went to money laundering school, because that's the only thing he seems to be good at. See, this just does not work, man. It's like WCW, right? Some people would only watch it. See if WWE brought it back, or even when they brought it back in 01, people wouldn't watch it because it's WWE. It's the same with ECW. I bet you that turned a lot of people off. The fact that it was still WWE at heart. This is still AEW. And at least with ECW in 2006, you had a feeling that Heyman had some swing backstage. Tony Khan runs everything. He's a mark. It's not like it's ROH. Tony Khan's just bought it, and it's the same old guys at ROH. It's him doing everything. I bet you if you watched ROH, it would just feel like AEW. Because indie shit.
Yeah, plus, I mean, Ring of Honor just doesn't have the identity that ECW had. No. Ring of Honor, yes, it's like an indie promotion.
AEW is indie on like a grander scale because they've got the money in the network.
So therefore,
ROH would just be a shiter, watered down version of AEW.
So a shiter version of Dynamite, really?
It would be yeah.
ECW, though, I think is easier to recreate because it wasn't around as long. You had a more established roster, and WWE played into that when they brought back ECW in 2006. And yes, you were implementing some new guys, but you did have a lot of the old school ECW guys on the roster. Plus, you were coming off the back of One Night Stand and the rivalry, and the ECW return was very hyped. I mean, as for Ring of Honor, I mean, it's been around for 20 years now, well over 20 years. I guess Tony Khan has a few people that have been on Ring of Honor previously, but when you think about it, it's like Ring of Honor. It's not got the identity that ECW had. Yeah, you could stick Christopher Daniels on it. You could stick Kyle O'Reilly on it. You could stick all these former Ring of Honor guys on it, and maybe that's what they'll do. But I mean, we already have these guys on Dynamite and Collision working Ring of Honor style anyway. So I mean, what difference is it going to make? Tony Khan says that putting AEW in front of ROH is somehow going to make it great. It's going to improve the reputation. Well, what did putting AEW in front of Dark or Elevation do for any of those shows? What did putting AEW in front of Rampage or Collision, what is that doing for those shows? To me, this would just be a fourth show that, quite frankly, would probably not do as good a numbers as Rampage, because Rampage has at least been around longer and it's a little bit more established. Yeah, I mean, I think if you put Ring of Honor, and let's say you do get a TV deal, is he going to try and negotiate this with Warner Brothers? Is he going to try and get Ring of Honor on television as well? I mean, possibly that could be the case, but like, what kind of ratings would this show be doing? Honestly, I don't know. If Tony Khan does want to do a brand split, though, if Ring of Honor's a 1 hour show, I mean, maybe you could have Collision and Dynamite be the main shows, and then have Rampage and Ring of Honor be like the sub shows or whatever, and one's assigned to Dynamite and the other's assigned to Collision. I mean, I don't know if you could make that work and then have a brand split, but yeah, just Ring of Honor as its own, you just simply, I mean, like, WWE could buy TNA, and you feel like WWE, with them being the machine and the marketability that they have, and if WWE put WWE in front of TNA, it would help TNA grow. I'm not saying TNA would take off and be mega successful, but it would do a lot for TNA. But AEW, just not so much. AEW is a dying promotion, and it's going to put its name in front of a promotion that's pretty much dead. Like, I don't see what that's doing.
We always talk about how AEW doesn't profit and make money. Well, I can fucking guarantee you that ROH doesn't.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem good for business, really, does it?
No, like Vince, he bought WCW and ECW, right? And could he have kept them both in business and just literally ran them as like a second and third brand? Well, I know they already had Raw and SmackDown. He could have, but you know what? It wouldn't have made sense for me to do it, because you'd be running like 4 brands but like 3 companies. It made sense that ECW got brought back like 5 years later. It's worth trying it 5 years later. I'm not saying here when he bought ROH like 2 years ago that you have to bring it back in 2027 and give it a go, but some things make sense, and this doesn't make any sense. This is just Tony Khan not wanting to seem like McMahon. Yes, he bought ROH, but McMahon would have just bought it and put it out of business. It's that simple. This is Tony Khan. Like, look, I can buy these companies, but I can still make them work like they used to. It doesn't work. No one gives a fuck about ROH, man. The best thing this company could do is end ROH and see all the shitey belts that have, saturated AEW. Take them with them.
Yeah, anyway, guys, that's it. AEW Ring of Honor. I'm not excited to see it. Tony Khan thinks it's going to be a great idea. He thinks it's going to improve the brand Ring of Honor, but nah, not for me. Not for me. And I really want a 4th AEW show to watch every week? No, I don't. I mean, you look at Ring of Honor, and it's pretty much just become a 4th show for AEW. I mean, their champion was Mark Briscoe, and he's an AEW guy. That's what they're doing now. They're just sending... you look at who's that woman? Ember Moon. I mean, she was signed to AEW, and she just got fucking shipped down to Ring of Honor because she wasn't deemed good enough or whatever. I mean, that's all that Ring of Honor really is. I mean, it's just it may as well just be development for AEW, but no one's developing, so that's kind of, dumb idea. It's not going to change anything. You can rename it if you want, but, I mean, why not just sell it? What good's it fucking doing you, Tony Khan? Like, buying Ring of Honor, this guy think that he's going to buy Ring of Honor and it was going to improve the Dynamite rate? No one gives a shit.
You say sell it? I mean, how much is it worth? I mean, Tony Khan, the family's
just give it away.
The family's worth trillions,
just
man.
Donate it to charity or something.
I know.
Anyway, guys, that's it. Let us know your thoughts down below. Catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.